Sir,
Yes, sir.
this is Amit, sir.
Yes,
We
Amit.
got a circular to get vaccinated, no, sir. Is that mean college is going to reopen?
We'll go to the class today, Amit. We'll take it offline. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. So I'm sure you are able to see my screen. So as I said, today's topic is on the network management and SSH. All right. So network management is one of the major and important application which is required when you establish and maintain a network. And we also will go through SSH. But in fact, I'm not going to teach you SSH, but I'll teach you Telnet today, okay, which is related to SSH. All right. So when I'm talking about the Telnet, I will also talk about the SSH in parallel, and you will have to explore more about the SSH, which is secure shell. Okay. So there are two parts. Let me see whether I'll try my best to give the maximum input on that. All right. So, what is the importance of network management? Before getting into that, what has happened so far in our classes? We have spoken about HTTP protocol, then we went to FTP, then SMTP, Simple Management Transfer Protocol, Mail Transfer Protocol, and then POP3, IMAP protocols. We also learned about DNS yesterday, and today we speak about network management. Ultimately, we are going to speak about SNMP version 3, right? So SNMP stands for Simple Network Management Protocol, right? So it is Simple Network Management Protocol version 3. Does it mean that we already have some other versions called version 1 and version 2? Yes, we do have version 1 and version 2 as well. Why are we talking about version 3? Version 3 is the latest, which is in current practice, and it also has brought in a lot of sophistication, which includes get bulk request, security constraints, something called as remote monitoring, and so on. That's the reason we speak about simple network management protocol version 3. So interested readers, please download a copy of Network Management by Mani Subramanian. That's a very interesting book. You will get to know everything about network management. Unfortunately or fortunately, we have very little portion to talk about in our regular class, because network management itself is a separate course of study. I would recommend you to read that content by Mani Subramanian. Very interesting, excellent book for you to go through. All right, so why should we go for the network management? All right, so there are a lot of network management tools available, but somewhere I will be speaking about the expectation out of this network management protocol. For instance, there is a network engineer. Okay, assume that you are the network administrator. You are sitting in your office, probably in the server room. Suddenly, you are getting a call from someone that they are not able to access the internet. All right, then you are supposed to go there, solve the problem, and then come back. Suddenly, your administration, your management asks you how much of bandwidth has been utilized last week. All right, and what is the request, different kinds of requests coming from various users of the internet. Okay, have you faced any security breach? All right, which time of the day or which time of the week or month have you experienced huge traffic in your university network? All right, why there is a congestion happening during when the examination results are published. All right, there could be multiple things, all right, which are coming under the network management. Okay, the overall picture is, as the network administrator, you are going to sit in your office in front of a big console where your SNMP version 3 is in action, which will be able to interact with all these networking devices, which are called as manageable devices. I'm not talking about non-managed devices, because some of the devices are non-manageable or non-managed. I'm speaking about the manageable devices. For example, your 2960 switch, 1800 series routers and above. All these devices are manageable devices, which means you'll be able to ask them some question, they'll be able to respond. I'm going to show you a demonstration as well, what's exactly happening there. But before that, some theory portion about it. Why should we go for network management? The reason is, unless you have a proper management, all right, you are going to give close to 80% of your expensive or for expenditure on the management of the equipments. All right, you may have the latest sophisticated equipments, the cost might be less, but the management needs a lot of money. So if you could automate, if you have the sophisticated tools and the software, then you are going to reduce this cost. All right, so what are the key functions of network management? Okay, there are 5-6 points I'll read for you. One is configuration management. This talks about the deployment. All right. So you have brought in new devices, bought new devices for your network, and they are all supposed to be configured. In case you set up a net cafe, or you set up a 70-seater lab, or you want to set up a server-based cloud system and so on. So in that case, the configuration has to happen. All right, and that is one of the functions of your network management. Then the performance management. Obviously, we all speak about the quality of service. No, none of us will be interested, or will be will appreciate if you are getting a lot of delay in accessing the internet or internet pages. All right, so the performance is an important parameter which is termed as quality of service when you talk about the network. It could be the bandwidth which is available, the delay which you are experiencing, the reliability of the system, and so on. All right, so there are multiple parameters which are available. Now the performance management is one of the key functions of network management, following up to meet the SLAs. Okay, service level agreements have to be met. All right, so that is another important functions. Then system tuning and capacity planning. All right, so this talks about the development of your system. Okay, the scalability of the system. All right, so suppose you have got your system established already. All right, now there is a problem with the performance, or there is a new requirement which comes in. The system is developed to take up only the online examinations. Okay, so the traffic is very less, you don't need much of the bandwidth, but suddenly these systems have to be designed to stream the videos internally. Now these devices and intermediate devices, the end devices, the protocols, all these have to be configured, if required upgraded. All right, so this is called the system tuning and capacity planning. Probably it also should be futuristic in the sense, suppose you require, even in Karunya, right, in this building was initially not designed to have all this internet connectivity, Wi-Fi connectivity, cables and everything. All right, it was designed only to have one machine in one of the staff rooms. So there are 4 staff rooms which were having only 4 RJ45 connectors, and it was designed to have only desktop machines. But apparently, you could see every one of us are using the Wi-Fi here. Okay, so you need to give the provision for it. So all this planning also require the management functionalities. Okay, then the fault management. Obviously, when there is an error occurs or some issue happens with the network which needs to be rectified. All right, when the fault occurs, it has to be reported immediately. All right, for instance, till yesterday, I do not know whether it's rectified. Till yesterday, we were getting some frequent disconnection in the internet. The reason is very simple. When I was trying to find out, I found that there is a small issue because this computer science and engineering building is getting the internet connection from the computer technology center, because the fiber ends there. Okay, from that we are getting the internet connectivity through the switches. Now, one of these switches on the path is powered by the UPS, which is in the management block, now the Karunya Media Center block. Okay, and there is another path also existing to connect with our department through the mechanical department. There is another UPS is running. Okay, what was happening? We were getting the internet connectivity without any trouble, but one of the UPS was very weak, and it suddenly it was switched off. Okay, it got broken, and the UPS was no longer functioning. So suddenly, the internal routing protocols, which are running the configuration, suddenly switches over the link to the backup path. Okay, so we were continuously getting the internet. We were facing some small trouble. What happens? Suddenly the power comes in that UPS. The system configuration makes the change to take that route which was existing earlier. Okay, so even as soon as the power comes back, we still get the network disconnection because it was doing a rerouting. All right, this is called fault management. So we found it, and once it is reported, say they are working. So if there is a problem, the connection will be lost, but we'll get it immediately. But when the power comes, we will not get the disconnection again because it will go for the single path. You got it? So something like fault management. Obviously, the security. Okay, I need not talk about that. The further one is the accounting management. So pay-per-use, you may remember the pay-per-use. So or maybe the cloud infrastructure usage, and I have to pay to the level of the usage which I have made because of the on that infrastructure, right? So the billing information has to also be carried out. These all are the major functionalities of your network management. All right, moving on. I'm just trying to tell you why should you learn about network management. Okay, So the task for network manager are more. I'm not going to get into this. Probably when you're listening to this lecture once again, you can read about this in detail. You can pause here and then you can read. Okay, what are the different tools which are available for network management in terms of hardware tools? Yes, you got the cable testers you might have used in your laboratory in case you are in the Cisco lab or sometimes. Then the error rate testers just to check the reliability. Then the protocol analyzers to check the connectivity. Then the response time monitor to find out the latency and related components. Then the self-testing devices. Okay, these are some of the hardware tools, and you also have got the host of software tools available for network management. When time permits, you can go through one of them or one by one of these devices. Okay, now let's talk about the simple network management protocol. As I said, we are going to speak about network management protocol version 3, SNMP version 3. What is this actually? So this is a protocol which facilitates the exchange of MIS, management information, between the devices. So from the analyzing device, from the server room, from the console, it will be able to talk to the networking devices and ask many questions as possible, and then get to know for various reasons, maybe for troubleshooting, maybe for maintenance, for improvement, to ensure some QoS standards, for security, and so on. All right. All right. So how is it beneficial? So all right. So it helps the administrator to do at least three things. Okay. One is the manage the performance, as I have said. Then find and resolve the issues if there is anything in the system, and plan for the future growth of the system. Okay, so what are the basic components? All right, so don't worry about this. You should have something called the devices to be managed. That is what is shown here. The second one is the management system, which means the server room or the console room, which is maintaining or which is managing these applications. Okay, then the third one is important. Third and fourth one are crucial. Third one is agent. Okay, agent is somebody who is residing there to respond. For instance, if the faculty member wants to talk to the whole group, many times it is impractical. Probably he or she may talk to the representative of the class. Now the representative will in turn will be able to communicate with his classmates, with his team members. You got it? So that is what very similar to agent. Now the representative can be thought of like an agent. Okay, who will be able to respond to you. So it's like a single point of communication. So this agent is a small module or software which is running on these managed devices. All right. And finally, the MIB, it is a database. Very simple. It is a management information base which contains every details which are supposed to be supplied on demand. Okay. So MIB, management information base. Okay, so this is simple graphics which talks about that. Probably you can easily understand what I have been speaking to you so far. You got the network management system here. Okay, the related applications are running. This is on the management station, probably with the network administrator, right? And you got the devices. It could be the host, it could be the printer. I'll keep it here. It could be the printer, it could be the router or switch or any managed device. Okay, they all have something called the MIB, that is management information base. You can think about this as the database. All right, and then you got the agents. These agents are the software modules, small piece of information which are running in these devices. All right, and then these agents are communicating with the network management application through SNMP. So this simple network management protocol takes the responsibility of connecting the management information base through the agent with the network management station. You got it? So you are sitting, okay, once you become the network administrator, you are sitting here, you want to talk to this device, use the specific application which runs based on the SNMP, which will in fact talk to the agent to get the details. Okay, there are multiple commands. I think it's available here. Good. So there are three commands which will help you to do something on the system. There are two commands, all right, which will fix something on that. Probably don't be confused with this here because I just made a mess of it. But there is a command called set request. Set request is the command which is initiated from the managed station to the agent. It says, okay, change the name of this device like this, change the IP of this like this. You got it? This is called set request. Then get request is the command asking questions. Sir, what's your name? Okay, something similar to that. Or what is your what is that? The IP address, for instance. Okay, or what is the maximum transmission rate (MTR) of your device? Something like that. So that is on get request. Get next request is very, very interesting command. Sometimes you may not know the name of the identifier. Okay, identifier means the identifier could be IP address, it could be yeah, anything for that matter, maybe the MAC address or the baud rate, many parameters which are alerted, right? So suddenly you forgot what's the name of that particular identifier, but you remember the previous or the next to the previous identifier. So in that case, you can get the get next request, which will fetch you the further identifiers and its corresponding values. Then you also got the get response. Get response is the response message for your get request message and get next request message. And trap is having some priority to get into the system to give some values back to the network management station, especially when something is not in favor. Okay, something is not happening in the formal or normal way. The trap is very handy for the administrator to manage. Okay, so this is what I wanted to talk to you just before. Okay, before getting into that, I want to show you a small demonstration of it. Yeah, all right. So this I'll keep it here, right? Okay, this can be here. So let me demonstrate you on the SNMP, how it works. Before that, let me show you what I have configured. I haven't done anything here. That is only to complete the configuration. All right. Probably I can use one more switch also, one more laptop as well. Just to connect. Oh, I cannot connect. Okay, there is no interface. No problem. Okay, I don't want this. Okay. So I got something called a machine called the PC personal computer. I also have enabled this SNMP protocol in this router. Okay. So what I have done two things. Okay. One is I have created test, or I'll probably show to you. I'm sure this is visible to you. Okay. If you are using the desktop or laptop, it must be visible. If it may not be visible in your phone, if you are using the phone. Okay. So these are all normal command. Okay. Yeah, I have done these two configurations. Okay, I have just enabled the SNMP server. Okay, I have created the community called test RO. Just a name I have given as a name. It permits you to go for read only. Okay, and it also permits you to test RW for read write. So these are the two things which I have created. Nothing more for you to know here. All right, and its corresponding IP is 10001. Okay, the fast Ethernet 00 has got 10001. So the IP of this machine I'll note down somewhere. 10001. Okay, and this is a PC. Probably it is in the same LAN. It is using 10002 with the same mask. So I go to this machine. Let me see whether I have physical. I am able to make the IP connectivity. What's the IP I give? Able to ping. So this machine will certainly be able to talk to the other machine. All right, that's what my understanding. And to demonstrate this SNMP, I need this MIB browser. It's not web browser. I'm going for MIB browser, which is designed for this. All right. So I'll go to advanced. Yeah, already I have given. I checked this morning, but what I have typed here is read RO and what is it? Write RO. Yeah, read RW. Yeah, something I gave, right? And I also have made it as version 3. This is the IP which I'm looking for, and it uses the port number 161. Right? So I just give OK. Right? Now on the left hand side, I'll keep it somewhere in the center. Okay. You got MAB tree. All right. So okay, router, fine. So this is called MAB tree. What is this MAB tree? I can browse through you and I can show you. Okay. MAB tree structure. Okay, just a random image I'm showing. All right, probably I'll choose this. It takes you somewhere. Okay, probably I can show this. See, this is how the MAB tree is functioning. This is an MAB tree. You got ISO, International Organization for Standardization. It comes under ORG, then DOD, Internet, Every management comes under MGMT. Then private, we are not going to look at the private anyway. Directory is separate, experimental is not implemented as. Then MAB2, a system interface and so on. So what are we going to do? We'll get into the ISO, that is the root, then ORG, DOD, internets and so on. Okay, the same thing we are going to see in our this one. Okay, so this is MIB tree. I just click this, it takes me to ISO. You see this, it takes me to ISO. Okay, okay, and then ISO, ORG, DOD, and then internet. I click internet. I'm not going to go for private, I go for management. In management I got MIB2. Probably I go for shall I go for interface or system? Okay, no problem. I'll go to system, or I can even go to interface, anything. I just click this system description. Okay. Once I give system description, on the right hand side, I'm getting the values for it. All right. So the operation is get bulk, set. Get bulk is an important command which is available in SNMP, which will fetch you more details. We'll see whether it works here. I just say go. As soon as I give go, so 1361, what is this 1361? I can again show you this. See 1361 and then 2 and so on. All right. So this is what happening here. This 13612 then 1110. So I would recommend you to see this MAB tree if possible. 13612. Then under that you got 1110 and so on. All right. That is not shown here in this specific example. We'll see whether you have got some other example. No, this is taking somewhere else. Okay, let's not waste our time here. Let's talk. Okay, this also not having. All right, so you can probably find out another MAB tree. Yeah, it's here. Yeah, 1361, then 2 interface is 2, system is 1. Could you see that? Yeah, we go for after 2, we go for 1. All right, so this is what exactly we are trying to find out in the MAB tree. So it gives the value of this is this, and it is giving the octet string and so on. So I'll just say system name. It says SNMP router. Okay, what I'll do, I'll try to see whether I can change it. Okay, let me see whether I can change it. It says SNMP router. I give new router. Okay, I'm just trying. I haven't tested it earlier. I say go. Yeah, it says its name is new router. All right. What I have done, I have gone into that, but can we check it? Not sure whether that will be reflected here. Yes, it's reflected. Could you see that? Earlier, the name of this router was SNMP router. All right. Now I changed it using the MAB browser. This is through the simple network management protocol. I went there and I changed the name of the router as new router, and you could see that that's getting reflected. You got it? And probably I can change it once again. When I say get, it says new router. I go once again set, and I say I'll put today's name 19/08/2021. Now the time is 10:25. 10:25. Okay, let me see whether this is accepted. I don't know that's accepted. Okay, I think it's accepting. I say go. So this is the name of the router which is appearing, and we can say whether that appears. Yes, that name is appearing. All right. So now what I'm doing, I'm just changing the name of the router here. Host name, I'll change to SNMP. Okay, SNMP router. Okay, I have changed the name of the router. Now let's go here. Not here. I'll go here, and I go to system name, and I say get. I go, you could see it gets the name again, SNMP router. All right. So this is a simple demonstration of how this SNMP is functioning. You can try all your possibilities. You can go to IP. Okay. It talks about routing table. All right. IP route entry, destination IP. You can just go. You can see what are all the routing table it is having. Okay. These are all the data it is available. It is currently having. It is having the route for these 3 that you can check. Show IP route command. Yes, it has got 3 routes, 10.00, 10.10, 10.20. The same thing is visible here, 10.00, 10.10, 10.20. So I find this probably I have taken a little time to demonstrate to you the usage of your SNMP protocol. Okay, this is using a SNMP protocol. We have seen that using the MAB browser. All right, so there are multiple interesting contents available here, very, very handy for the network administrator. It's my appeal that you will explore more to know about this. All right, so probably I pass here on the SNMP. I also promised you that I'll be demonstrating you the telnet, all right, not SSH. You are going to learn about SSH. So apparently, telnet is a protocol which you are going to see now, which will help you to have the remote login to a device. What about SSH? SSH also. Then why should we have two things, sir? Yes, SSH stands for secure shell, which will help you, which has some a concept called security. All right, so the security is implemented. It's a challenge-based protocol, but Telnet, no. But you record the password, but the password is exchanged as a plain text. You got it? So Telnet is a lightweight protocol compared to SSH. I'm going to demonstrate to you the Telnet. So for that, probably I go for a new one. All right. So let me take one PC here. I drop. Okay, and I'll use the router. I go for PT router here, right? And I connect them straight away. Simple. All right. So what is it is fast Ethernet 00. So I go here. You all would have started doing this in your laboratory. So with that assumption, I'm not teaching you any CLI commands because you guys should be knowing all these commands by this time. Okay. So I configure this. I'm going to change the fast Ethernet. So I say Internet fast Ethernet 00. I give IP address to this, probably 192.168.1.1 with the mask 0. I also give no shutdown. Right, so line protocol is up here, and I go to this PC. I give IP here 192.168. I give 1.2 with the mask, and I don't change anything else. I keep it here. And now I can check whether I'm able to ping. Yes, I'm able to ping, which means the connection is successful. All right. So now, in case you want to get into this router, right? But remote login. What is that remote login? From this machine, you have to get into this router. There are multiple ways. One is Telnet, the other one is SSH, and so on. But being a router, you also can use hyper terminal. As for example, I can use terminal here. I say go. Why nothing is visible? Why is not working? I'm sorry, I cannot use the terminal. I'm sorry, because I haven't used the console cable. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Yeah, once I use the console cable, probably I can use the terminal. Okay, you can have all these things. That's okay. But unfortunately, console cable is not available. Somebody has removed the console cable here. All right, now how are we going to configure this router? One of the options is using the console cable, but that option is removed from you. All right, now from this machine, you go to command prompt and you are giving Telnet. I'm not using SSH, I'm using Telnet 192.168.1.1. It says trying 192.168.1. I remember demonstrating this to you earlier, but I think it's the time to give more details on that. It says connection is closed by the foreign agent. Okay, I'm not permitted to use the Telnet at present. So I have no other way than using the console cable to connect and configure, but I'm not going to do that. To demonstrate, I go to this router, I go to the CLI. Okay, in the CLI, I am seeing the running configuration now. In the running configuration, you got something called line con 0, line VTY 04, aux and everything. And I'm going to configure this line VTY, right? So how am I going to configure? I give configure a terminal. I give the same command line VTY 04. Okay, I give a password. What could be the password? Simple, SIMPLE. Okay, I give the password as simple. Don't forget to give the command called login. Okay? I have given the command called login. Now I try from here whether I'm able to do the telnet. Okay, Now it is trying to open. It asks for the password, right? Did we set the password? Yes, we set the password. What was the password? Simple. SIMPLE. I give the password card simple. Now I am taken to the router's console and I am comfortably giving enable. It says no password set. I give enable again, enter, no password is set. I'm not able to move forward. All right. So what am I supposed to do? It says very simple, no password is set. So I go to this machine again. I give enable. Okay, I should come back and I give enable password. I also this also simple. Now I go to this machine again. I give enable. It asks for password. I say simple. Now it takes me to the router's console. Okay. This is how, okay. Now you could see line v204 password is simple. Login. Whatever commands I have executed in the CLI window of the router is reflected in its NVRAM. Not NVRAM, in fact, it's reflected in its RAM. Okay. Okay. Fine. So this is how my telnet is running. What have I done? I have just configured telnet. All right. Why can't we try this in the simulation mode? Okay, in the simulation, I give show all or none. What are the things I need to see? ERP, ICMP. Okay, we can use ICMP. We'll see whether that's needed. In the miscellaneous, do we have telnet? Yeah, telnet is here. We'll go for TCP also. We'll use UDP also in case. I close it. And now I go to this machine in the command prompt. Okay, what is it? Oh, I delete this. Okay. Go to this PC. Oh, okay. I go to the real time. I'm sorry for that. I'm here now. Now let's go to the simulation mode. Delete everything. Go to this. I give telnet 192.168.1.1. As soon as I say 1.1, it goes for TCP. So remember, telnet uses TCP in the transport layer. All right. Um, Let this be here. I open this. I kept here. Okay. Can I open this and see what's happening here? The out layer. It's a telnet client process is started. The client makes a connection request to the server. Okay. What is the port number? It is 23. Okay. So telnet uses port number 23. So in our flow, HTTP, just to recall, HTTP uses port number 80. FTP was using two port numbers 20, 21. Then SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol 23, okay, POP3 110, DNS 53, SNMP I think 161, forgive me if I'm wrong. And then now we are at Telnet, it is 23. You also try to find out what is the port number of SSH as well, okay, somewhere around this number, or I don't remember at present. Okay, so you got the destination port as 23. This indicates that this is a Telnet request. Moving on, I allow this to go. Or telnet, okay. Oh, sorry, I should use this. Okay. Now it's visible. Okay, we can open this. It's a telnet request outbound PDU. It asks for user verification password. Inbound, it is asking for user verification access password. I'll open this. The outbound. Oh, password time expired. Okay. I'll probably make this so that I should go to this window. I delete all this. I give once again because the time expired. I just put a play button here. every of the character, as soon as I type, it goes there in a separate telnet packet. You could see I have also pressed enter, but still it is showing here. Again, I have typed the password. Every character goes separately. Okay. I give show run. And I pass here. We'll just open a random telnet and we can see what is available. These are telnet data. Yes. Okay. This is telnet data H. All right. A lot of information. Router. Okay. So I think, yeah, it takes, we need to sit and see what exactly is happening. But every of the telnet packet carries a character in its path to the destination. All right. It's all happening through a simple TCP connection. Okay. It's all happening through the TCP connection. So TCP is the protocol which is running at the transport layer of OS reference model for telnet. All right. You could visualize what is exactly happening. I recommend you to do a similar setup in your packet tracer at your free time and find out what exactly is happening in every of the telnet packet. All right, and you can find out. Now the point is, after this class, probably before we come to the next class, I think next Wednesday, before you come to the next class, you are going to configure SSH in a similar way, and we are going to explain the commands, step-by-step commands, which are applicable for SSH configuration, and then the sample outcome in your packet tracer window, very similar to your lab record, only for SSH. So you should write what is SSH, how it is different from telnet, and then the configuration commands and the outcome. So this have to be prepared as a single Word document. You need not write it down. Word document, and then you have to upload. Please see that you don't copy from others, which is not helpful to you. You can submit it as the assignment before we come to the next class. Is that okay?